I have an update or a story about classified documents for you. And when I say that, I know what you're thinking. Okay, we're either going to talk about Biden or Trump. Well, neither. This is in relation to former Vice President Mike Pence. We have an issue, apparently, with classified documents in our country because now it has been revealed that former Vice President Mike Pence also had his hands on classified material that he likely was not supposed to, definitely wasn't supposed to. Very, very wild. Here from CNN, a lawyer for former Vice President Mike Pence discovered about a dozen documents marked as classified at Pence's Indiana home last week, and he has turned those classified records over to the FBI. The FBI and the Justice Department's National Security Division have launched a review of the documents and how they ended up in Pence's house in Indiana. The classified documents were discovered at Pence's new home in Carmel, Indiana, by a lawyer for Pence in the wake of the revelations about classified material discovered in President Joe Biden's private office and residence, the sources said. The discovery comes after Pence has repeatedly said he did not have any classified documents in his possession. And so as this CNN article noted, one of the things that makes this, I don't know if it's ironic or just more embarrassing for Pence, is the fact that he's been quite confident that he had the proper process and doesn't understand why other individuals were dealing with this problem. And I will say before we dive into this clip where he's talking about his process of handling classified material in the past before this revelation, that if you are honest, as we have been, many have been, I would say, within the progressive media ecosystem, and just say, it doesn't matter if it's Biden, Trump, or now Mike Pence, investigate it, uncover wrongdoing. If there is indeed wrongdoing, hold the proper people accountable. That's not that difficult to say. Then we can get into specifics about which ones seem worse, what are the details that make that clear, and there's a fascinating discussion there. And it is dishonest to say, oh, the Biden document situation makes Trump's not matter. No, or that Biden's is as severe in the obstruction we saw with Trump, right? No, but all of them are important, and you can say, we should say, that wrongdoing should be held accountable. The reason why I frame it that way is because that is not the way you will see many, especially within the right wing, some on the left, but especially within the right wing, respond to these stories. Instead, it is bending themselves into partisan pretzels, trying to defend who they want and attack who they want. And that is a great example, a great case study in the dishonesty we see in politics. With that being said, take a look at this past statements from Mike Pence talking about classified documents.
Listen, again, this is the former Vice President of the United States. This is talking to Fox Business this month in January, on January 12th, saying, I was extra careful. Listen.
I received a presidential daily brief at the vice president's residence. I'd rise early. I'd go to the safe where my military aide would place those classified materials. I'd pull them out, review them. I'd receive a presentation to them. And then, frankly, more often than not, Larry, would simply return them back to the file that I'd received them in. They went in commonly into what was called a burn bag that my military aide would gather and then destroy those classified materials. Same goes in materials that I would receive at the White House.
So again, in both interviews, he's speaking with certainty. Right. Not me. Didn't happen. Not an unprotected place. We had a process, and yet.
Right. So there's.
Listen, again, this is.
Yeah. So definitely does make that embarrassment a little more excruciating because of how confident he was that he had the process and does not understand how this happened with Joe Biden or Donald Trump. And so clearly there is something going wrong with the way that we keep track of, manage, and hand off to certain powerful people classified material, because it's just popping up everywhere. Everyone apparently, where's my classified document? I want a classified document. Last thing we'll take a look at here is Trump's response to this on Truth Social. Mike Pence is an innocent man. He never did anything knowingly dishonest in his life. Leave him alone. Now, I didn't know how Trump was going to respond to this, but it's interesting to see him coming to the defense of Mike Pence and saying not just he didn't do anything wrong here, but generally, he never did anything knowingly dishonest in his life. That shows you that Trump has kind of set aside his war against Mike Pence that we saw with the January 6th related stuff, and here at least is standing beside Mike Pence. Now, number one, you have no idea if he's done anything dishonest in his life. This has to be investigated. That is why really the only honest response you can have to this story breaking with Pence or Biden or Trump is investigate it, let the facts be shown, and then based on those facts, let accountability that is necessary be brought down. That's the honest response. He's saying before he even knows the facts, we just got this story, he did nothing wrong, stop bothering him. That's not how it works, Trump. Let's investigate it and then see what is necessary.